Good evening, everyone. And it is our New Year's Eve service for 2023. We are so excited that you have joined in with us today. Welcome to MEOC Atlanta's New Year's Eve worship celebration. Y'all, we are already celebrating over here. Y'all see me, I got my cheers, little visor on. We are having a party because we are worshiping house to house here at MEOC Atlanta. And so I'm excited to bring up the word or the bishop already in progress, none other than Bishop John Kennedy. So, family, get ready for your word. Make sure you have your journals ready because it is time for the word. We bless you for joining in with us. Let's join in with the word in progress. God bless.
It should be 11:24.
Greetings, everyone. Greetings. Come in. Say hi to everybody, Lydia. Say Happy New Year to folks. Listen, first we want to just thank all of you guys for once again hanging out and being with us throughout this year. And as you guys heard on this morning on our prayer line, how excited we were. What's going on, Dexter? Shenandoah is in the building. I hope y'all had a great service up there in Shenandoah Valley, man. We're excited, man. We're here having fun. I really just cut the party just a little bit so we could come and really get a word for the organization. I love my responsibility, man. My responsibility is kind of different. I get the opportunity to, one, hang out with Atlanta and pastor an amazing group of people in the city. But then my overall responsibility is I got to speak to the nation to some degree. Our Virginia group, man, I want to welcome you all. Virginia went on at 7 a.m. and then so did Lawrenceville, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Shenandoah and Lawrenceville, so that then they can be able to hear what we're saying for 2023. I learned a long time ago that God doesn't follow anybody, right? I really just learned that, you know what I'm saying? In any context of understanding about God that I've had all my life, he is a proactive being, not reactive, right? God is not reactive. God ain't waiting on something to happen and then do something, right? God wakes in the morning, and in the morning, there's a forethought of the day as it relates to God. You know what I'm saying? And especially as it relates to your life. A lot of people like to, you know what I'm saying, wake up in the morning and then move their lives according to what man wrote in the book for his horoscope, right? So based upon your horoscope and what it is for the day, man can believe that the stars can speak, you know, for your day, but we don't believe that a God can speak, you know what I'm saying, according to time and mathematics and our science. Like God can do that. You know, we just don't listen to him that way. Every year, though, most churches are all getting together right now, and everybody's really, you know, having a close out the year celebration, right? How we just close the seat, right? We made it through, and like me and Pastor Kennedy, Pastor Tennille, we was talking earlier today, and we had a Selah moment, right? The kids was in the back seat, all quiet, and we was driving down the street, and I just pointed in the back, told her, I said, take a look back there. You know, and the kids was quiet. I said, man, this has been a good year. Like, I really didn't have anything that was real heavy pressing on me this year. I had a lot of stuff go down, right? But we didn't have no threats, right? Nothing threatening. You know what I'm saying? That, yo, you about to lose it, about to take it, it's about to be gone. You know, was nobody in the hospital for no long stints of time, right? Y'all don't know, right? You know, this was one of those years where If my only concern as a person and a pastor was where we gonna have a church building, that was a good problem. Listen, I'll take that as a problem any day if that was my only concern. And the reality was, for me, that was my biggest. You know, God, where do you want to send a people? It wasn't all people. It was just Atlanta. Gwinnett has a building. We signed that contract a couple of years back. Shenandoah has a building. We moved in there this year without any hiccups, man, and some grace, right? Atlanta was the only campus that, you know, we were dealing with a lot of backlash from 2015, right? Has that been 2015 since Apostle died? 17, excuse me, 2017, right? So since 2017 to the day, you know what I'm saying, we've been at regroup. And God was like, listen, I don't want you to talk about your journey. Your journey is not everybody's. And when you speak to people about where we are as a people, not where you are as a person. Because each one of you, your own individual journey, dealing with your own specific, you know what I'm saying, unique, you know, system. Because it's a unique system. I heard a long time ago, man, Bishop Long said this a long time ago. He said, a knot is nothing but organized chaos. Y'all do know that, right? A knot. A knot. So how do you untangle a knot? It's organized. But it wasn't there to hurt you. Earlier today, I did a quick study. And when I asked God, I said, God, what would you have me say to your people? We said it earlier this week, but then I had to really look it up. And he was like, yo, I want y'all to be about my business. Our problem is that each person, individual, have their own business, right? But one God has a business for us all collectively. Yes. And the hardest thing to do is to get on what? One accord. It is. Even in a household, right? Me and my wife, it was easier for me and my wife to get on one accord with our kids when they was younger, right? Because when they was younger, we didn't have to deal with, like, y'all know what, teenage kids. When me and my wife had to get on one accord with my little kids, it just became, do what we say, or we did it for y'all, and we and my wife to get on one accord with Lydia, Abigail, and John. The one accordness is tougher. Yeah. Right? I still got authority in my house, right? But the older they get, you know, I got to deal with the pace that we all move at. You know, hey, we said we doing the same thing. Let's go. And you may have one flying, you may have another hollering, I'm coming, and you may have the other one saying, well, we got 3,000 questions. Well, why? Where? What? Are we coming back? Like, I got to answer all of that before we go? And that's to get 5 people on one accord. God is like, yo, listen, I need my people to be the same way. Get them all on one accord. Well, how do I get everybody, God, about your business? First, you got to share with them what my business is different from theirs. Because that's what we all need to learn. God got a different agenda than man. Today, man's agenda, y'all, is being made big, ain't it? Man's agenda, we think God's agenda is about electric cars. No. Really? Is God's agenda about electric automobiles? Okay, now let's go to the far end of the scale. Is God's agenda about making marijuana legal everywhere and everybody can just smoke it? We be tilting the scales, don't we? Is God's agenda about same-sex marriage? Is God's agenda about, you know what I'm saying, abortion? No, we are making these things. Is God's agenda about Black Lives Matter? No. Right? We be tilting the scale on trying to figure out what is God's agenda. You know what I'm saying? Justice, rights, Everything is love. But we spit all of this out there and we miss. Well, what does God want every man to do? Last night at my mother-in-law's birthday party, man, I heard God remind us what his agenda is for next year and about his business. And then she walked it out in the midst of celebrating her birthday. She did a call for salvation. She did an altar call. She did an altar call at her own 70th birthday party. She was like, listen, we gonna dance. We gonna have a good time. It's liquor over there on the side. I'm sorry, I'm telling all of the business. I'm on live too, right? There's drinks and everything in there, right? But at the end of the day, I can tell all of y'all this. God ain't said not do any of those things that we did. He says, but in the midst of all of that, handle my business. Now, that's how a father would be. That's how my father was. My father was like, yo, y'all can do whatever y'all want around here. Y'all can do whatever y'all want, right? Y'all can do whatever you want. Just do what I told you to do, though. If you do what I told you to do, you can do whatever you want to do. Am I right? That's kind of like a father's bit. A father would say, if you do what I tell you to do, then you can do all of the things you want to do. Too many of us is trying to do what we want to do without doing what it is he would want us to do. And then we're fighting with flesh, and it's actually God saying, I'm putting the resistance there in your life. Because until you get about my business, your business is going to be hard. Y'all can attest to that. Y'all can relate to that. Can y'all imagine, man, next year all God is telling us to do? God is really telling the church to do what the world is doing right now, more than most. Like the world is really doing this right now. That's how I know God is telling us to do it. The world is doing this. The world is mentioning God more secular way than I've ever seen before in my life. A secular way. And now a lot of bridges are being gapped, right? And I tell you, like me being from New York, I've probably sat, listened, and learned all the scales of religion and of faith, right? All of them. Listen, all of them. Me and my god brother talk every time we get together. We be laughing about everybody in Rochdale was born supreme, everlasting, and we hit with today's mathematics regularly, right? Then we would trickle over into, the Nation of Islam, you know what I'm saying, and to Quran. We talk through the Quran, and then we'll trickle over, you know what I'm saying, into the Hebrew Israelite conversations, you know what I'm saying, about who we are. These are conversations, y'all, that I'm listening to the world half the day, like, yo, why y'all acting like this stuff is new? Like Kyrie and them talking about being Israelites. I'm like, yo, come on, man. That was 94 for me. You got to go deeper into your studies. The problem with Jews, man, come on. That was 93 for me. Come on. We Jews ain't never a problem. We know Jesus had problems with Jews. So why are we talking about Jews, right? Why is this a new problem? Right? You know what I'm saying? So we get into these things, and God is like, yo, y'all back to trying to define me. Yo, when man try to define himself, is only because he stopped knowing who God is. And when you fail to know who God is, you'll never know who you are. And you can tell a people who don't know themselves when they don't know their father. The worst thing to do is to have a house full of people that was all birthed by the same daddy. None of them look alike, acting like they're not related. Sounds about right. It's society, right? And then we start acting like we're not related because we say, well, that's not my father. I'm this, I'm that. We're like, yo, come on, man, stop that. We got the same blood someplace. We got the same mama, we got the same daddy. We ain't here because we're related. And you trying to find a divide. I just say eliminate the identity and get to the work. What is it that we're supposed to be doing? Not the who you are. Because the who you are is going to keep us separated. Because you still struggling with identity. And this ain't about identity. We trying to do work. Next year, the hardest thing is going to be for us to do, and I've already talked to a bunch of friends of mine, people that I'm walking with. I can't make money with people who don't know who they are. Because while trying to make money, you struggling with who you are. And when you don't know who you are and you make money, you'll stop making money, right? Once you made some, because you'll think the money made you.
Yeah.
Now I'm the man. You were supposed to be the man when we first started making money.
Yeah. Now you put your identity.
Now your identity is it's the money. Remember, like I grew up in New York, right? So we used to do dog stuff, right? I can't tell you the stuff we used to do because I can't incriminate myself. We used to do dog stuff, right? And I used to tell guys who used to come to my house, yo, listen, don't let that dog be an extension of your ego. Because if it gets shook up, you're going to get shook up. You're going to be mad. Right? And it's a dog. Like me and your daddy would have that. We had those conversations. We'd be like, yo, you know, that's a dog, right? So you don't never let the dog be an extension of your ego. You don't let money, a car, a house, you don't let things be an extension of your ego because, you know what I'm saying, then you're trying to be defined by the thing.
Yeah.
When who are you?
Wow.
We define ourselves by what? Who we are. We are what? Made in God's image and his what? Likeness.
You're choppy.
Oh, I'm a little choppy? Okay. So to know that we're made in God's image and his likeness, right? Let's go into, well, then being made like this, well, what should I be doing? The beauty is, right? LeBron's sons, isn't it just befitting that they want to play basketball because their daddy did? Right? Because they don't have I'm made in his image, I'm made in his likeness. Right? Is there anybody well, some of us who don't know who we are, who don't like ourselves, we would answer differently to this. But who doesn't think that it's okay for your children to be like you? Then that means that we're still working on identity. Right? I'm okay with my John, like John, he gonna say we's one. Ain't that right? We the Johns. That's his word. His term is we the Johns. Now, he's okay being just like me, right? I have to then put in him, do what I do. Don't just be like me, do what I do. The things you see me do them. What we don't see and have been seeing lately, we haven't seen God active in the earth in a long time, have we? Have we, y'all? We haven't seen God active in the earth, like God active in the earth. Now, what I want y'all to understand, don't get it twisted. Earthquake ain't God. Remember, he said, I wasn't in the what? Storm. I wasn't in that. I wasn't in that cold weather you had the other day. I wasn't in that. We try to put God in everything, and he be like, I wasn't in none of that. You know what I was in? I was in that still small voice. And the earth ain't heard a still small voice in a long time, because tonight was the first time corporately everybody had their technology taken from them at the same time. And if we ain't all stopped all distractions all at one time, then we know we ain't all heard from God at the same time.
Right. Yeah.
Church ain't like a football game. A football game, if you're at the stadium, here's a football game. It's down to the last kick. And at the last kick, it's 4 seconds left on the clock. If he makes this kick, y'all team win the game. If he misses this kick, game over. Stadium full of people, 70,000 deep, all waiting on what? A kick. One kick.
One move.
At that time, you know how many people not looking at their phones?
The whole
At that time, you know how many people are not talking to their neighbors? At that time, you know how many people are standing on their feet with all their eyes gazed on one thing? When was the last time we all did that to listen to the voice of God? So we can't say we've seen the move of God. We've seen a great move of God in the earth. We haven't seen a great move of God in the earth because we haven't seen anything that caught all of our attention like that in a long time. The last thing that caught all of our attention like that, it wasn't God. We watched a man being beat, you know what I'm saying, or choked out in front of, on the side of a car. Caught the whole world's attention, stopped everybody. But nothing's new under the sun, right? So I lived through seeing that before as well because we all watched Rodney King. If you in my age group, you know what I'm saying? When we all saw Rodney King, it was all like seeing that again. We watched Rodney King and it disrupted the world live on TV. Right? But those type of movements. Now, when we just came back from New York for Christmas and I had Ulrico and them up there, you know what I'm saying? I thought they was about to cry. It was when they went around the Twin Towers, Ground Zero, because for some people who ain't never seen it, you know what I'm saying, that really brought that moment back to them, the what they saw, and it was real. Those were names. This was here. That did happen. But since 9/11, you know what I'm saying, I remember that day clearly, man. Everybody was in front of the TVs looking and staring at the television screen like, what in the world is this? And then let's look at an amazing move of God. Can you imagine a move of God happening this way, that where when the first move happened, it already gets your attention. But then when the second plane went into the next one, right, it was almost like, yo, why you kicked that dude in the face and he was already down? Like you knocked him down and then you went back over there and kicked him again. Like, yo, we didn't even have the gas for the second one. Right?
We literally watched that one.
You watched it, and like most people didn't see the first one. Most people that tuned into the smoke coming out of it, like, what? A plane went in there? Right. You crazy? Nah, you know, it's unbelievable. We just saw smoke, and most of us, we've seen a lot of Hollywood movies, so we knew, you know, buildings on fire, Hollywood, right? I don't know if they gonna get no ladders up there. How they gonna say to people, right? We going through that. So ain't nobody thought the buildings was gonna come down.
Right.
And if a plane went into the building, most of us was thinking we would have seen the tail end of the plane or something. Let me see. I don't see no wings or no plane went in there. It was unbelievable until the second one went in there and disappeared as well.
Yeah.
Now listen. Only reason why I'm putting all of these scenarios up because next year, 2023, I'm believing, along with others, that there's going to be an amazing move of God, right? Not even as dramatic as those, but an amazing move of God that's going to do what? Gasp us.
Okay.
Now, understand something, though. Like all of those moves that I just named, it happened to none of y'all, but you was affected by it. So we got to stop thinking that God is going to be doing some of these personal things just for us, right? And then when it don't happen to you, you miss it because it wasn't me. But I want to be a part of seeing a move of God to say, yo, that's God. Because if you don't see it, we're in the day today, man, where, yo, there's a line being drawn in the sand. Yo, so many people don't believe God is real. Like, yo, God ain't real. And, yo, we've made these small G's. God, we're small G. We were described as gods in the earth. Biblically, in the text. So I don't take nothing away from a man when he says, yo, I'm God. Yeah, you are. You created in his image and likeness. And then he breathed himself into you. And then he gave you dominion over this earth and authority. So the stuff that we ought to be able to do on this earth that we can do is scripture. But we are not the created God. Right? We're the we are the created God. We're not the creator God. We're the created God, right? So we were created in an image. I want to see the one who created me. I want to see his movement. You know what brought that along in me this year so much? I'm a roll, and I got to get y'all to his business. To know that, yo, my dad did things, right? And I don't get a chance to see him do those things no more, right? My dad did things, but I don't get a chance to see him do those things no more. And every time I be wanting to kind of reminisce on the things he did, God would say to me, yo, do them. Be who he was, then you can become, right? So the created G's can't be gods to the earth until we do what the creator did. We aren't gods if we aren't doing what the creator did.
Right.
That's us having a form of godliness and then denying the power thereof. So you have God-like ability, but you're not operating in it. I'm going to say that again. You have God-like ability, but you're not operating in it. The closest we get, most of us, in the God-like ability that we have is what God did with us. We create in our own image. I got 3 of them. Right? I could use a little TikTok thing that said, look what I did. look what I made. Look what I made. Look what I made, right?
Look what I made.
But hear me, that's about as far as some of us get in the God created ability. Right? But you got more ability than that. You got ability, you know what I'm saying, to tell mountains to move. You got the abilities, you know what I'm saying, to change situations and circumstances. You have those abilities. God's business, y'all, is the business of doing what? Advancing his kingdom.
Yeah.
How do we advance the kingdom of God? Somebody say, be about his business. How do we advance the kingdom of God?
Be about the business.
Now, the business of God is doing simply this. It wasn't to fight the Roman Empire. So he didn't come to tear down the government. So I'm not about to be about attacking American government or fighting with presidents and all of that. The most we can get from presidents is sent back and forth from presidents to governors, and then eventually one of them want us stoned and then let somebody, a crook, out of jail and then kill us. That's us following Christ, right? If we follow Christ, then you can get sent from president to governor, and eventually, you know what I'm saying, they'll be done set somebody free and had you killed. Right? So Jesus said, I didn't come to do that. And even at that moment, when he was being killed, if he was coming to destroy the governments while he was up there, angels would have came down and took lives. The business was, I need to get more of me in people. Yo, we're about to be about the business of God next year, y'all. And that's going to be getting more of God in the people, man. You only advance the kingdom by those who don't know him, find out about him and meet him. The kingdom of God don't only get advanced by me, light. The kingdom of God only get advanced by light getting to somebody who's dark.
Yeah.
That's going to be the only business we're going to be about next year. As if we're assuming everybody we meet saved. And that's the problem right there. Most of us don't care no more that our neighbor may not know him. But I would hate for the day come, and if the day is close, that 2 be walking in a field. 1 get taken away and the other one is left. I'm just doing my best to make sure that I'm not leaving any of my loved ones around or behind first. Right. Being that charity starts at home, right?
Yeah.
So I want to make sure at least first everybody in my car is going, right? The car, we driving down the street. I want the whole, I want the car. I don't want somebody sitting in the back seat talking about what? And they watching the car drive. No, I want everybody in the car. We going tonight, just be a car riding by. Listen, but y'all do know, you know what I'm saying? My children love seeing what movie was that? Which one of the Marvels was that? And at the end when the blip happened? Infinity Wars? No. The blip happened in Infinity Wars? Yeah. Now, when the blip happened and they had your boy at the end and they saw the car and the helicopter was crashing and all of that, I said, Joe, Hollywood is trying to get real close to showing us what the rapture going to look like. The rapture, right? They said half the population disappeared, right? So that's Hollywood. And we'll look at Hollywood, take stuff that's written and make it looking like, you know what I'm saying, real cartoonish. I'm sitting there saying, y'all, that's going to happen, right? You'll be driving down the street and the car go riding past you and you'll be like, yo, what was that? But Hollywood will show it to you and take the sting away from it. I heard a person say this the other day, and we're gonna bring this year in right. I heard a person say this the other day. They said, look what Hollywood did to our Black Panthers. They made it one Panther. They took what we had as a movement of people and gave us Black Panthers and gave us a Black Panther. And we missed, you know what I'm saying, that there was a movement of people, you know what I'm saying, who fought for people. They took all of it, and even about how the community was, the basketball playing and turning the center into this. They can take all of that and just really make it real Hollywoodish and make you forget, you know what I'm saying, every aspect of what is a part of who you are becomes Hollywood. And took what was Black Panther and it became an African movement of pride. Became a cat man, as my dad would say. My dad would say, became a cat man. When it was actually, you know what I'm saying, a people fighting for a people. Against the people. Through all the movie, they kept it the same way it was in the movie, right? You see, they never got involved with the union. They kept their stuff to themselves. They kept true to, you know what I'm saying, some of the stuff, but they made it look real, you know what I'm saying, fun. Just be mindful, man. Everybody is being reactive. God is speaking to us on being proactive. Hollywood follows God. Hollywood don't lead God. Hollywood does not lead God. Hollywood follows God. Next year is going to be a real battle for souls. A real battle for souls, right? And this battle for souls is going to get so intense, right? We're going to be wondering, what should we do? Now, when the enemy goes after souls, he tries to take lives. See, the only way the enemy knows how to take souls is to stop you from living and keep you from confessing. So I could take lives. And most people are like, I haven't heard a person yet come up with a solution in Georgia yet to get these young kids off the streets and the guns out their hands. Now, everybody is pro-Black. Everybody is righteous, but ain't nobody stopping nobody from killing each other. So I ain't biting it, right? I don't buy that. That ain't godly. Yo, God ain't in the business of killing each other. He's in the business of life. So when we start getting, you know what I'm saying, holier than thou, or just self-righteous, we actually just rebellious and we don't want to surrender to God because we want to be angry. And angry is walking the street. And the devil is the author of that confusion. And he's fueling it right now. I'm watching kids die in these streets in Atlanta like we've seen up north, man. And when you start seeing that stuff happen in a city like Georgia, it can get real bad, especially in a state where so many guns are legally floating. Guns didn't float this easy in New York. They was illegally floating. These guns are floating down here legally, like just floating. So let's be a people and be mindful, man. The business that we will be about is leading people to Christ. My kids is hitting me, y'all, because they're saying we're on our countdown right now. We're at 4 minutes. 3 minutes. Well, that's 3 and 36. I'm looking at the timer over here, right? Lydia's getting some drinks ready. We want to go ahead and toast, ma'am. I want y'all to know this. You all made it when a lot of people didn't. Right? You made it and when a lot of people didn't. And you actually came across pretty good. Right? God closed it out for some of us real good at the end, didn't he? Yeah, just real talk. God closed it out for some of us pretty good towards the end, didn't he? He made that thing happen right on time. Some stuff really looked good. Better than it did all year long, at least to start the year out. I'm the type of person, I believe this. I want to go into a year the way I'm closing it out. Not starting it out hoping that it become good. I got a pretty good momentum. And I believe everyone in here does as well. I love the fact that we're all in here together, man. I love that everybody in here is with one another. We are with one another. I'm going to say it like Jesus said it. He said, my family are those that's in here doing the will of my Father, man. End of the day. I don't try to connect things with me no more that's not with me, right? It ain't with me. I connect with me what's with me, right? Are y'all ready to pass those out? David, what time we got? You got me on the time? Huh? It's 11:59, guys. Somebody on the countdown? Listen, hey Nick, I see you out there. Somebody on the countdown? David, you on the countdown? We at 10 yet? Three, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Listen, I was looking at my ticker go. I was like, y'all ain't counting it down yet? Listen, you ain't see yours on the ticker? No, it's y'all won the loss. Listen, MEOC family, man. We love y'all. We started a couple of seconds too late on there to start. But Happy New Year, man, to all of y'all. Everybody in here is already celebrating, man, the new year coming in. I'm excited. I got the opportunity to come in again with some amazing people. Come here, Dawn. Don't take a picture of me. Come here, Dawn. Come here, Dawn. Everybody on here know you. They say to be the world. Happy New Year, y'all. Look at Dawn. Dawn made it in. Made it into the new year. You know, still hugging me. We still cool. We still good people. You got you some bubbly?
No, I don't.
What they handed me?
And I have some water.
Cider, apple cider.
Pastor want to say Happy New Year to you guys.
Happy New Year, everyone. God bless you. We're excited. Let's go.
Love you guys. Listen, we're gonna end the broadcast. You guys go ahead, love on your families, man. Enjoy yourselves. Bring the year in, right, man, and let's do all the things God has ordained for us to do. Let's handle His business and shit, man. We're about to be about the business. All right. Love y'all, man. Happy New Year.
Bye.